Top 10 softball questions reporters have asked President Biden. Welcome to Truth Dueler Official. In this video, you will learn about the controversial questioning of President Biden by reporters, specifically those working for CNN. You'll want to stick around till the end of this video and learn how ice cream may derail Biden's presidency. But first, I am your host, Misinformation. If you like this channel, make sure to subscribe to receive more great political content, misinformation analysis, and other news. And become a Truth Dueler, because only you can slay misinformation at its source. Get our app on truthdueler.com.
Lived in Long Island for 10 years or so. God rest her soul. And although your mom's still alive. Is your dad passed? God bless her soul. I got to get this straight.
The number one job facing the middle class, and it happens to be, as Barack says, a three-letter word: jobs. J-O-B-S. Jobs.
A three-letter word: jobs. J-O-B-S.
If we do everything right, we do it with absolute certainty. We stand up there and we make really tough decisions. There's still a 30% chance we're going to get it wrong.
The long-awaited 2020 United States presidential elections had arrived. Americans were eager to vote, and a record number of votes were cast. The population was divided between now former President Donald Trump, who many people felt was an international laughingstock, while others believed his presidency was clearly beneficial for the American economy, and Joseph Biden. After counts, recounts, more recounts, mudslinging, and court challenges, Joe Biden was inaugurated as the 46th President of the United States. So much mud. Mud, mud, mud. There is no possible way to cover all the events that took place during the run-up to the elections. Insults, gas, and petty arguments provided hours of entertainment and ad hominem editorializing in the nation's media. In this episode, as the immediate past president, Donald Trump looms large. And in keeping with tradition, the new president's first months are all about softball questions about leadership, vision, policy? No! They're all about the softball questions. And I'm not talking about the All-Stars game being moved to Colorado, because that's baseball. It starts with the declared loser of the election, Donald Trump. Former President Trump claimed to fall victim to unfair questioning by reporters during press conferences. Trump asserted that while he was constantly being grilled and made to look bad, reporters were helping Joe Biden to look less senile than he actually is.
And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And let me just tell you, I watched the interview with Sleepy Joe Biden, and he didn't ask questions. You didn't ask questions like that. Read the questions, yes. They were like meant for a child.
Biden's team ignored those accusations and insisted that Trump's claims were just another tactic to attempt to save his own presidential career. Let us examine what Donald Trump was referring to and claimed to be unfair. Drop a comment and let us know if you think Sleepy Joe is being held to a lower standard, or if he's just the media's favorite. Number 1. On September the 4th, 2020, right after a so-called liberal newspaper published an anti-Trump article about Trump calling American war dead a pathetic bunch of losers and suckers, reporters furiously demanded Biden's opinion on the matter. Its author, Edward Isaac Dovier, working for The Atlantic, asked, "When you hear these remarks, suckers, losers, recoiling from amputees, what does it tell you about the president's soul and the life he leads? Not leadership? Not vision? Not policy? Nope. What do you think of the incumbent president? Can it get more softball than that? The elections and the various press conferences are a way to get to know the candidates." Number 2. The same evening, another reporter from CBS, Ed O'Keefe, also engaged in some unusual questioning. You be the judge. "You said today is the angriest you've been as a presidential candidate, but you said you're trying to restrain yourself. There's a lot of people out there who are supporting you, or inclined not to vote for the president, who would say, why isn't Joe Biden angry about all of this? Not leadership, not vision, not policy? Nope. Come on, Joe. Why don't you show some rage? It's the age of rage on social media. Rage is all the rage. Number 3. November the 10th. Even though Joe Biden was confirmed as the new president, softballs kept getting pitched towards him. Mike Mimoli from NBC took the stage and proceeded to ask the following question, which Fox News suggested was a softball question.
Your response to Secretary Pompeo, and I also wonder, you warned during the campaign that as the walls closed in on the president, he would behave more erratically. Yesterday, he fired his defense secretary on Twitter. Are you worried that he's disabling the government? And what are you saying to the world leaders who are calling you at this point about the situation here?
Softball? Really, Fox? Number 4. Soft servers were not new. They've been around a long time. Back on June the 30th, 2020, reporter Alexandra Jaffe asked then-candidate Joe Biden the following question, which was tagged a puffball in an opinion piece of Fox News. We reported yesterday that President Trump was briefed as early as of March 2019 that Russia had ordered or offered bounties to the Taliban for the killing of US soldiers. You called his inaction on this issue a betrayal. So broadly, what consequences do you think the president should face for that betrayal, and specifically, what do you think Congress should do? Puffball! Or is Fox creating a narrative? Whatever the case, does it seem from these questions that many reporters are more interested in talking about the Donald and what Joe Biden thinks about the Donald than playing hardball?
Okay, do I have... Yes, sir.
Reporters kept coming hard, clearly pushing Biden further into the ropes. About Trump. Number 5. What is your message to Republicans who are backing up the president's refusal to concede? You clearly need to work with them going forward. Number 6. What do you see as the biggest threat to your transition right now? Given President Trump's unprecedented attempt to obstruct and delay a smooth transfer of power? Blah, blah, blah. Donald.
Marsha.
7. Meanwhile, over at CNN, correspondent MG Lee asked Joe Biden a question that she herself answered. No need for Joe.
Mr. Vice President, last night, President Trump mocked you for wearing a mask and said that this is a sign that you must have some, quote, big issues. He says this even though he knows that, according to scientists and public health officials, wearing masks saves lives. I wonder if you worry that this kind of language that comes from the President of the United States could deter some Americans who are tuning into him to not wear masks.
Super! I surely would have liked her to be my teacher during high school. 8. Finally, ABC's Shonda Rhimes herself comes to the rescue. In an attempt to get to know President Biden and his positions on important issues, she goes in for the kill. Maybe she would be a better fit for office then, since this is what is important to the mainstream media. But if you're shallow like us and it's important to you also, be sure to check out our video, where AOC is cooler than your girl. Number 9. Now President Biden was once again questioned by reporters in the most vicious manner possible. As he was exiting Honey Hot Ice Cream in Cleveland, Ohio, a reporter yelled,
Chocolate chip.
Oh, yeah. Chocolate chip. What is your message to Republicans who are prepared to block the January 6th convention?
Eat some chocolate chip.
Ice cream diplomacy. That's wick brutal. Finally, at number 10, Miss Shonda Rhimes, again and taking no prisoners, asks Joe Biden. Chocolate chip ice cream. Devastating. Who would have thought once upon a time, a long time ago, presidents were seen as powerful, intellectual beings? Now it seems like anyone can become a president. Misinformation wishes you well and says that ice cream, like defeat, is a dish best served cold. And asks, will President Biden suffer an ice cream-induced toothache in his next nationally televised speech? Will Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson follow in the footsteps of previous celebrities like B-movie actor Ronald Reagan and tabloid queen Donald Trump and become president? For the answers to these and other brain-twisting matters, remember to like our video, subscribe to our channel and become a Truth Dueler. If you don't, Your freezer will break down and your ice cream will melt. Misinformation will see you soon.